A Media Research Center analysis reveals that ABC, set to host the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris on Tuesday, tomorrow, is more pro-Harris than any comparable evening newscast and overwhelmingly negative towards Trump. Analysts reviewed 100 World News Tonight campaign reports aired from July 21st, when Harris declared her candidacy, to September 6th, finding that Harris received 25 distinctly positive comments and no negative remarks from ABC reporters, anchors, or nonpartisan sources, a 100% positive spin. Trump's ABC coverage included only 5 positive comments against 66 negative comments, giving him a 7% positive and 93% negative spin score. CBS and NBC also strongly favored Harris, with CBS's coverage being 94% positive and NBC's at 71%. Oh, only 71% positive. You know, we have seen, by the way, and just as a quick side note, we have seen quite a bit of spin, not spin, just reporting. We've seen, I guess, I wouldn't say more truthful, because, again, we are talking about corporate media here, after all. But we have seen at least a willingness to discuss topics and ask a bit of tougher questions. Now, people might wonder, where is this coming from? Why are they doing that? There's a couple possibilities. Number one, it could just be, hey, we got to try to pretend to balance it out, right? We gotta at least say, hey, see, look, we asked the tough questions. We made a tough statement here. We're not all behind Kamala Harris, not completely at least. We're willing to report some of the news occasionally. That's possibility number one. Possibility number two, and this is the one that I would sort of lean towards, is the idea that they're upset. They're mad because they've been trying to get interviews with Kamala, and they just can't. They've been trying to get interviews with Tim Walz, and they just can't. So in a way, I think this is, I believe there's at least a little bit of rebellion. It's like, hey, if they're not coming to us to do interviews because they know that we're going to just echo their sentiment anyway. We're just going to be campaigning on their behalf as corporate news. So what if we push back? What if we force them to come on our shows? Keep in mind, is their role as in corporate media entities, their primary role is to spin. They know that. Okay, we know that. But they do have a secondary role there. They still are businesses. They still have the they're still trying to make money. Right? They still have people that they're accountable to, shareholders. They still have people that need to they have to get their ratings up. And generally speaking, it's like, okay, so we'll give you a positive spin. You throw us a bone and you give us an interview or 2 or 10, right? And they're not getting that. There is the quid pro quo is missing here. And I think that they're out there saying the occasional negative thing about Kamala Harris, because it's sort of like, hey, look, if you're not going to pay attention to us, we're not just going to be your lapdogs, not at least 100%. We're only going to be like 93% your lapdogs. So yeah, I think that might be the source of some of this pushback. But anyway, back to the article. ABC did not label Harris as liberal or progressive even once. This is despite the fact she once rated as the most liberal senator in Congress, ahead of even Bernie Sanders, and has backed far-left policies such as decriminalizing illegal border crossings, as the border czar. Go figure. ABC consistently highlighted Trump's controversies, but downplayed negative stories related to Harris. For example, it did not report on an adultery incident involving Harris's husband that was mentioned, albeit briefly, by CBS and NBC. David Muir, moderator of the Trump-Harris debate, is the managing editor of World News Tonight. Trump described ABC as by far the nastiest and most unfair newscaster in the business. Wow. However, it is the only network Harris has agreed to debate on, refusing Fox News and so far even NBC. Remember, NBC, of those three networks, non-Fox News, they had the least spin, only 77% positive for Kamala, and compared to ABC's 100%. ABC executive Dana Walden and her husband are close personal friends of Harris and her husband. Harris has previously said the Waldens, who have been donating to her since 2003, are in many ways responsible for my marriage. No wonder she was willing to do this debate and no other. Okay, she owns ABC, period. ABC is the worst, the cream of the crop, the worst when it comes to left-leaning bias. They are, and keep in mind, what about MSNBC? What about CNN? What about New York Times? We're talking about amongst the 4 major networks. And even if you include the non-major networks out there, I'm not talking about the 24-hour news channels like CNN, MSNBC, Fox. Those ones are completely different. We're talking about the networks, and amongst the networks, they own them. And ABC has just built up a horrible, horrible reputation over the years because they are the epitome of fake news. Like you got fake news here, right? They're like through the stratosphere. They're not even close. They don't even pretend.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest.
To get your free definitive gold guide and get started learning more about investing in gold and protecting your retirement from uncertain times, visit treasureandtrust.com now. Fill out the basic contact form and a member of the team will be in touch. Again, that's treasureandtrust.com or call 855-625-7760.